What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day, I saw a post for Modern Warzone that I think will be kind of interesting to go ahead and discuss on this channel. Basically, covering whether TwoBoxing is considered cheating within Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And I've seen a lot of different mixed opinions, but like I said, I wanted to bring it up on this channel. I want to dive further into the topic and see what you guys have to say down in the comment section, as well as give my personal opinion about this take. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And if you guys want to check out any of my live streams, I do that over on Kick pretty much daily as well. You guys can find a link to that down in the description of this video, and that usually goes live between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, I saw a post from Modern Warzone the other day. Basically, it was a poll for his overall community on Twitter, discussing if TwoBoxing is considered cheating in Modern Warfare 3, or better yet, Warzone. Now, as you can see from these results right here in his community, 62% voted yes, and 37% voted no. Now, of course, for those who don't know what TwoBoxing is, I'll go ahead and just very quickly discuss it to you guys. It's a form of reverse boosting. So, a lot of people go into the game and tank their stats. They'll die over and over and over. They'll try to purposely play like a bot and, make sure the algorithm kind of forces them into more casual matches, casual lobbies. Well, TwoBoxing allows you to do that minus tanking your stats. Basically, you're going to have to buy two different versions of the game. Now, you're going to have to obviously have more than one console. You can't play two versions of the game on the same console. So, like, you have an Xbox and a PlayStation, or a couple of PlayStations, or a PC, but, two different forms of a way to hop onto the experience. You buy two different versions of the game, and you have one of those versions of the game on a bot account, basically an account that you make that is specifically made to have nothing but crappy stats. So no matter what, every time that game loads up on that account, it has zero history of any good gameplay, zero history of, any positive feedback. It's always just, an account that's getting stomped on, so it's going to party you accordingly. But when you squad up on this account, you're going to be able to partake in those lobbies. So people basically just hop into a lobby with the bot account, then whoever is trying to join joins in session, and they, just make the bot account leave, and now they have a certified bot lobby. And again, this has been speculated in the community for a pretty decent amount of time, but again, I want to kind of discuss it with you guys and see what your personal opinions of this are. But 62% of his community said that yes, TwoBoxing is indeed considered cheating, and 37% said no, it's not considered cheating. Now, in my personal opinion, when it comes to TwoBoxing, I gotta be real. I don't think that it is considered cheating, and I don't really see how 62% can really say it is. Now, in the context of someone who is trying to show off and showcase that they're the best player in the world, maybe they're competing and they're, basically doing it for views, money, fame, recognition, and they don't openly say that they're TwoBoxing, and they're just, showcasing 10 KD stats, 21 losses, dropping constant nukes in Warzone, insane gameplay, then yes, I would consider that right there cheating, because you are selling a false image to people, a false perspective of what this game is actually all about, because that's nothing like the experience that, the rest of us have to go through whatsoever. It's a lot of competition within Call of Duty, and yeah, they'll throw you, a casual game every so often. You'll be able to stomp out and get, like, an insane amount of kills, but it's not like that every single game. And a lot of the time, I'll tell you, as a sweat myself, a lot of these people, these sweats, the people who do have legitimate high KDs, usually play together. And they usually play different games like TDM, or something that's extraordinarily simple, where you don't have to worry about, any OBJs, any flags, anything to stress about. You know what I'm saying? You just squad up with a bunch of 5 KD players, go into a team deathmatch lobby, and literally stomp out every game you could possibly see. Those are the legit KD players. But when you see people hopping around in solos with, 8+ KDs, stomping out, absolutely mowing through lobbies, 9 times out of 10, they're reverse boosting in some type of way. And like I said, it's not bad if they're willing to admit it, in my opinion. If they're willing to say, yeah, you know what, I'm going crazy, but keep in mind, I'm TwoBoxing, then I don't think that it would be considered cheating or anything that's bad. But a lot of them don't, and they showcase and brag about these stats while they're, doing the system behind the scenes. But it seems a lot of other people share a different perspective of TwoBoxing, and they do believe it's actually cheating. They believe that if you are a higher KD player, a better player, and you are intentionally trying to get into, lobbies with people who are 1010% not in your bracket, that should be considered cheating. And honestly, I totally see where you're coming from. And if this was back in the day, yeah, I would partially consider this some form of cheating, because you really are. You're intentionally going into, players' experiences and stomping them out, trying to make them, absolutely get destroyed so you can have a good time within the game. So you're going to make all of them suffer so you can have a good experience. But in this day and age of skill-based matchmaking, it is so freaking thick and so freaking disgusting for the solo players that I don't blame people for two-boxing and reverse boosting nowadays. Ever since Modern Warfare 2019, I could care less, Back in the OG COD, you would get a fair share of lobbies where you do get, a lot of, I guess, variety in gameplay. And even though I get that now within Modern Warfare 3, it's only because I play with a full stack of players every single time I hop in. When I play solo, I am constantly, when I say constantly, I am constantly carrying, while the enemy teams are stacked up completely against me. It is a nightmare every single time. And yeah, I go ahead and get some, good games where, I can stomp out some of the people, especially on 10v10, because that's why I always go to 10v10. 6v6 is a whole different story, guys. That is like, even when I play with a full 6 stack, it's still extraordinarily competitive in 6v6. But 10v10, it's a tad bit more lenient. But you could tell that for solo players, they are trying to make your lives absolutely horrible. They want you to squad up with players. I mean, they even add in skins into the game to give you double XP for playing with, more people in your squad. They want you to party up. They want you to communicate. They want you to compete within Call of Duty nowadays. So I honestly, I don't do it myself, but I don't really care if anybody else does it. It's not really that big of a deal in my personal opinion, only because of how the times have gotten with skill-based matchmaking. That is why I personally don't consider it cheating. But again, I can see why others do consider it cheating, because people are trying to force their way into lobbies that they should not be in, that they should not be, partaking in. And it kind of does suck because, back in the OG CODs, yeah, you would stomp out some lobbies, but that's about it. You would still get your set of competitive matches. That was the fun of Call of Duty. You would compete, you would have some casual, you can, go for crazy streaks, while at the same time, some games you can't go for the streaks, and you have to actually saddle up and get ready to, fight some worthy opponents. That was the enjoyment factor, right? But now, with two-boxing, people are intentionally they're not trying to go into some of those competitive lobbies. They're not trying to have a 50-50 experience. They want to 1010% stomp out people every game they play and just basically ruin people's experiences who they shouldn't even be going up against. So yeah, I can see where people claim this is cheating, but I can't right now. I really cannot, even though I can see it and I can understand it. And again, I'll see plenty of comments probably saying that it's cheating, and I'll be glad to answer and have a little discussion and stuff like that. It's always fun going down in the comment section and seeing everybody's opinions. But for me right now, it's just not considered cheating as long as players own up to it. That is literally it. It sucks, but at the end of the day, if you really think about it, the people who are in that lobby who just got stomped by the person reverse boosting, they probably won't see them anytime soon, because they're going to obviously cycle on out. Disbanding lobbies is a thing nowadays. We don't have non-disbanding lobbies. So their experience will be short and swift, and it's going to go right on to the next match, and they don't have to stress about it anymore. Whereas the player who is reverse boosting, if they don't reverse boost, that's not how it's going to be going for them. They're going to be competing every single game they possibly play. So again, if they do it, own up to it. Be honest. Don't lie about the stats. Don't lie about gameplay. And then have your community and a bunch of people who are watching you hop online and try to imitate that and see that. It's like, oh, wow, they must be amazing because I can't do it, but they can. Selling that false narrative is disgusting, in my opinion. And that is where it becomes cheating compared to if they just own up to it and say, look, skill-based matchmaking sucks nowadays. I hate how overly competitive Call of Duty has become, and it's not as casual, so I reverse boost just to get a casual vibe out of the game. And when people say that, I know tons of people who two-box. I don't care. They openly admit it all the time. They just want to enjoy the game. So be it. It's none of my business. I just despise when someone is going crazy and they're, gaining so much popularity for selling, once again, a false narrative. A lot of other people have owned up to it. I know a lot of content creators who did reverse boost before and they owned up to it now, which is fantastic, but there's still way more out there who will gladly claim they are a 10 plus KD player without also telling you the truth behind the scenes on why they are a 10 plus KD player. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, leave a like if you enjoyed today's video, leave a dislike if you hate it, subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time, and if you guys want to check out any of my live streams, I do that over on Kick. You guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video, and that stream goes live between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.